Another day, another vote. And once again, Jim Jordan failed to get enough of those votes to become Speaker of the House. Today, more of his own party turned on him. Others flipped the other way. We go to Alice Barr now on Capitol Hill with the very latest on this vote. Alice?
Hi there. So, in fact, today, the one who's seeking to be Speaker, Representative Jordan, got fewer votes from his Republican colleagues than he did yesterday. He's 22 Republican defections. So after that second round of voting, House Republicans went behind closed doors to kind of huddle up and figure out exactly where they go from here. House Democrats did the same thing. So it's a strategy question right now as to whether Congressman Jordan wants to keep going and calling for round after round of voting on the floor. He's indicated thus far that he's willing to do that and to keep fighting to get to the number he needs to become Speaker. But you know, there had been a lot of discussion earlier on. Steve Scalise, who was the last guy nominated, didn't even want to go to the floor until he knew he had the votes locked up. They're trying to avoid looking like they're really in disarray and maybe going through the 15 rounds of voting it took earlier in the year to get the former Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, the job. So it's a question now of whether these 22 Republicans can be moved in order to get to a number that can seal this for Jordan, for him to become Speaker. And it's just not clear that that's the case. It had seemed yesterday, before the first round of voting, that he had done enough work to get, the folks on his side, but he ended up a lot further away from the number than he expected to be, leaving us all questioning what the next step is.
So, Alice, there is a resolution we know that would give Patrick McHenry, who is temporarily holding the gavel, temporary powers for the chamber to function. What does that mean? How much support is this getting?
So there is growing support for this idea. Patrick McHenry does have broad respect on both sides of the aisle within the Republican Party and from Democrats. And you're hearing from Democratic leadership in the House that they might be willing to support some sort of measure that would empower Patrick McHenry, the temporary Speaker, to have the ability to actually conduct business in the House. That is what is missing. While there's not an elected Speaker in the House, they cannot approve aid for Israel, for Ukraine, and they cannot prevent a government shutdown when we have that looming deadline coming up next month. So if there can be some sort of maybe 30-day agreement, that's what I've been hearing, to allow McHenry to be able to take serious action, then that would buy time for them to take these steps they need and to figure out what they're going to do long term. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, a lot of work hinging on this decision. So Alice Barr, live in Washington for us. Thank you.
Yep.